Why does the book of Genesis tell us that so many people in the ancient world lived for hundreds and hundreds of years? Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and I am genuinely surprised by how frequently I'm asked this question, but also by how adamantly some people insist that these ages can be harmonized with what we know today about human lifespans, whether it's by appealing to a sexagesimal counting system or to the notion that they're counting by months and not by years. None of these really function to adequately resolve the issue. There is so much that is arbitrary. There's so much picking and choosing about when things are going to count and when things are not, that it's really not a plausible solution. There is an answer to this. It is a very simple answer. It is a very clear answer. It is the correct answer. It's fiction. It's not historical. It is a literary invention. It's the exact same reason that Galadriel lived for as long as she did. These texts were written by Judahite scribes who were being influenced by traditions from Mesopotamia about ancient king lists. These originate in the 3rd millennium BCE, and they record kings who reigned for thousands and tens of thousands of years before the flood. And then after the flood, those reigns tapered off down to the thousands and the hundreds. And by the middle of the 1st millennium BCE, when the Judahites are exiled in Babylon, the king lists have them reigning for hundreds of years, so it's much closer to what we find in Genesis. And rather than having kings reigning for this long, the royalty of Judah and Israel's sacred past, this mythical golden age, are living for that long. So there's a literary purpose for trying to tell these stories in ways that kind of resonate with what's going on in the literature in ancient Mesopotamia. So again, it's just not historical. It is a literary invention. And that's a tough pill for some folks to swallow who come to the Bible expecting and even demanding that it be inerrant, that it be historical from beginning to end. And when you come to the Bible with those requirements for the Bible, you're telling the Bible what it is and is not allowed to be and what it is and is not allowed to say. You're asserting authority over the Bible. So the Bible is not your authority. The dogma that you have been conditioned to accept, that you have hung your worldview on, is the actual authority. The Bible is just the rubber stamp, and you're telling that rubber stamp where it is and is not allowed to function. And that is a problem. You're never going to understand the Bible on its own terms as its authors and editors and redactors and audiences understood it in the ancient world if you're bringing demands to it and you're not allowing it to operate on its own terms. If you want to understand it as it was intended to be understood, you need to allow it to operate on its own terms. And the fit for this video is Get Low by Maimonides Nuts.